What's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. And today we're going to be taking a look at the charts like we always do. And we've got some green on the board this morning. So today on this video, we'll take a look at the Ripple XRP price chart. We'll peek over at that total altcoin market cap chart to see if it's doing what we've been talking about last week. And we'll look at Bitcoin, we'll look around the whole market and see if we can see anything new that's going on, because obviously this morning we have a lot of green on the board. You may have noticed I didn't make a video the last couple of days. I was going back through my history and I noticed that I had not taken 2 consecutive days off in 7 weeks. So I was getting to a point where I was just tired, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, I need a couple of days off. I looked at my history. I'm like, I haven't done that in 7 weeks. Yeah, I'm going to do it. So sorry if you were looking for me, but you know what? I needed a couple of days off. I got it. I feel good. I feel energetic. I'm ready to dive right back on in. I was hoping that maybe those ads would kind of be cleared up. So I see that they haven't cleared up. So I do have the duration of this video set to ad free, and I have disabled any of those kinds of ads so they can't be shown before or after this video as well. So with that, let's talk about unstoppable domains. This video is brought to you uninterrupted by advertisements. Get your own .crypto domain address where you can link nearly all of your major cryptocurrency addresses and pay ID into one simple domain. Rather than giving out each long string address for each asset, a .crypto address makes it easy to receive assets by simply providing your domain to the sender. For example, mine is bcbacker.crypto. Have one domain with one address for all of your assets. Get yours today by visiting the affiliate link in the description of this video to Unstoppable Domains, which is a founding member of Ripple's Open Payments Coalition for PayID. All right, here we go. So Bitcoin's got a nice little pump this morning. It's up about $250. We're up to $9,400 for Bitcoin. And I wanted to kind of zoom out a little bit just to kind of remind people of what things were like. In 2017, when Bitcoin broke out above its all-time high, do you know what was happening right there at that exact time when that occurred back in January of 2017? The dollar started to fall during that time, and the dollar ended up falling about 15 to 20% during that time. And during that whole fall of the dollar, that's when we saw the massive rise in Bitcoin. Concurrently, at the exact same time, both these events happened. Right now, we're watching the same similar things start to unravel. We're seeing a lot of money being printed. We're seeing inflation in asset prices, and we're seeing the devaluing of the United States dollar. You could see over here on the silver price chart that silver is hitting a 6-year high. You can see that gold is hitting a 9-year high. So I just wanted to remind people of, when we look at things like this, like silver, that it's making this big old breakout here. Why would it be breaking out? And it's because people are flocking away from the dollar. It's the things that people are used to going to. They're used to running to silver. They're used to running to gold, because the Fed is stating, and the United States government is stating, that they're going to be printing more money. And it doesn't appear that there's any type of exit strategy from all of this stimulus. Right now, at the end of July, it's set to be that the stimulus and the additional unemployment money that's being given to people, which is $600 per week, is set to expire. Also, the mortgage forbearance and rent forbearance is set to come up to end as well. So there's 2 options, right? It's either all these people suddenly don't have any money any longer and people are going to be losing their homes, or that the government is going to print a ton of money to avoid that from happening. And they're betting that the government is most likely going to print a ton of money to try to prevent that from actually happening all at once. So they're expecting the devaluing of the currency. And the last time that we had a fall in the dollar, the devaluing of the United States dollar, the entire crypto market, including Bitcoin, including all altcoins, rose 5,700%. I think a lot of people also forget that Bitcoin actually recently had its block reward halving back here in May. So there's less Bitcoins that are being sold on the open market every day than there was just a few months ago. So it's kind of like we have 2 things happening at once. You have the Bitcoin block reward halving that's reducing the selling pressure on the open market, along with the fact that you're having the devaluing of the United States dollar at the exact same time. And both of these events have a tendency to send cryptocurrencies sky high, which is what we're already starting to see over in the gold and silver markets. So I know a lot of times we get caught up in the day-to-day price action or even the weekly price action, and it can sometimes become frustrating. But a lot of times we have to zoom out, we have to take a look at the big picture and remind ourselves what is actually happening. You have dollars being printed like crazy, you have gold and silver both in complete breakouts, and we have a history on this chart showing that when that dollar falls and when inflation comes, cryptocurrencies have a tendency to skyrocket during that time, along with the fact that crypto has been in a bear market for 2.5 years, and we're seeing all the same setups like we saw previously before the last bull run. It's all just super bullish. It's all super exciting. And a lot of times right before it, just like that video I posted on Saturday where you could see how a lot of coins were still just stuck right there at the bottom. And then it was just like suddenly they were in these massive bull runs. It was not this warm up period, this feel good time where it just kind of gradually let you into it and you knew you were in a bull run. No, it came instant. It came quickly, and it only took a few months, right? It was in early March. Most of these coins were still in massive depression and massive suppression. And then by June, they were all up thousands of percents. It didn't take long to go from being absolutely terrible to being absolutely euphoric. And that's part of being in this market, because this market is so incredibly volatile. So you kind of just have to sometimes remind yourself of the game that you're playing. But I'm telling you, when I see this kind of stuff on this silver chart where it's hitting a 6-year high, it's telling me the story very clearly. People are running away from the dollar. And just like we talked about last week, I think we're going to see the evidence of that here in the cryptocurrency market relatively soon. I'm still looking for this total altcoin market cap to have a nice pop to the upside. It's still doing just like we're looking at. We've got 2 double taps right here. We're still grinding our way up. There will still be some volatility right in here until it finally gets going. Then everybody will come into agreement. Wait, it's going up, it's going up. And by that time, it'll start cooling down. But everything is still looking good here on the total altcoin market cap. As for XRP, still the same story, still trying to get to that 200-day moving average so we can clear some big resistances. So that's still sitting at 20.92 cents, looking for the breakout there. So it looks like we do have a breakout here of this bull flag with a back test. So now we're looking for our grind up. Still just a wait and see. Picking that short-term volatility has proven itself time and time again to be darn near impossible. So we're waiting for a breakout to the upside still. My target for the short term is going to be 28 cents. And of course, I'm going for much, much higher. Flip it over here to the Bitstamp chart, and we have a much better, clear history. There is just so much room to the upside. And when it finally does happen, history proves it doesn't take long. So I know a lot of people want to see the nice little grinding action to the upside, because it makes it feel more comfortable that if we're trending like this. But that is historically never ever been how this chart operates. This chart always remains incredibly suppressed and depressed until it's finally time to go, and then it just shoots itself up in a straight line. So we're watching, that's how you get these types of big extreme bursts. You have to have extreme suppression and depression, and the price has to be held under like a beach ball underwater for a long time in order to get moves like this. If it just grinded away itself like this, you would never get these big massive bursts to the upside. It's being held down so long is what creates these big fires to the upside. And the last time we had a move like that, you can see each of these moves right here. They're both just like instant moves, right? It gets held down, and then once it gets released, it just fires straight on up. That's what I'm expecting here too. So I get it. A lot of people are frustrated. It's been down here for so long, but that's what ends up creating these types of explosive moves that end up happening. And then also when we zoom in on this shorter time frame, and we just kind of look at what's happened back since March, this is exactly what we've been looking for in regards to coming down here and finding the support level at 17.5 cents. This is precisely what we saw back at the end of the bear market back in March of 2017, before this thing really started getting to go. We saw this exact same type of setup. So we're still in this exact setup right now. And then I always go back to this chart, and it just tries to remind me of what happens in the crypto space, and that the whole market moves together, right? The whole market goes up together. It has in each bull run. However, each individual asset can move at a different time, just like we see in stocks, right? You'll see certain things go first, and the next will follow, then the next will follow. We have the same thing in the cryptocurrency market, and you can clearly see that some of the ones that moved first, while the other ones just stayed totally dormant, including that Litecoin. That one's my favorite to prove it all, right? To prove that people were chasing Dash and Ethereum while Litecoin was perfectly flat and dead, and it was so obvious that you should be dumping Litecoin and going after Ethereum and Dash. but that story ended up not being true because the whole market did take off together. So it's an exciting time because I just know it that we're right down in here, right down in this moment, while we have our early leaders, while we have gold and silver taking off, and while we have the devaluing of the United States dollar. These days are coming, but they don't last long. So you need to have plans for it when it happens. Once we start getting some really big movements, I'll start posting, my exit plan strategies again. But man, seeing these silver charts, seeing this gold chart, it makes it quite exciting. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this one. Follow me over here on Twitter at bcbacker. Again, visit the link in the description of this video to Unstoppable Domains, which is a founding member of Ripple's Open Payments Coalition for PayID, to get your own .crypto wallet address and domain today. I want to thank you guys so much for watching my channel. I hope that you all are having a great start to your week. Please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor, but if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.